All right, ready to go?
Got it.
We are. Go.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Arshan, CEO of Worksense. We're on a mission to boost employee sentiment and retention. So 300 HR leaders told us that these two are the most important problems facing leaders. Yet they solved this problem with broken engagement surveys, a practice that hasn't changed since World War I. Gartner found that 22% of survey data is accurate. You're better off flipping a coin to learn how employees feel. And Gallup reports that employee engagement and survey response rates have plummeted since COVID. And a survey done by Microsoft below is an example of how inaccurate surveys are when asking the same questions to employees and leaders. They also cost a lot of money, on average $500,000 to $1 million, and take about 4 to 6 months. You got one to 2 months of writing the questions, 2 months of getting employees to take it, and if you're lucky, 2 months analyzing it. And we have so much data on employees, yet we only use 15% of it to understand engagement. So why are we building this? We were the team building surveys and people analytics at Workday and know exactly where they fall short. We have a combined 10 years of experience in HR tech. I also used to be a growth lead at Dave, helping scale to 11 million users and a $3 billion IPO. And Yezin, our CTO, is an AI and scalable systems engineer. We have advisors who have served as CHROs at companies such as Walmart, Binance, and even early employees at Workday, and we're backed by Antler and Alchemist Accelerator. So we're building Worksense, automating team sentiment. What we do is integrate with employee communication and SaaS tools, then give real-time sentiment on well-being, engagement, performance, etc., along with understanding high performers, critical roles, and flight risks, and then hyper-personalize it to give AI-based actionable recommendations and cost savings on retention. This is an experience loved by the whole team. It's honest, there's no bias in the data, it's automatic, it captures everything in real time, it's private, our AI model anonymizes the data and we only look at public messages and we aggregate it to at least 5 members, and it's frictionless. The average onboarding time for our customers has been about 20 minutes. So 5WPR has saved over 350 hours on survey creation and analysis, and they're projected to save over $200,000 on addressing burnout. Sales Clover focused on disengaged high performers and are expected to save $1.2 million. If Salesforce or Meta had used us, they would not have to rehire the roles that they laid off. So we charge between $5 to $20 a user a month, and with 1 billion knowledge workers in the world, we have a TAM of about $144 billion. Competitors either go after speed or accuracy of data, but no one really does both. We're the first company that does both, and because we get deeper data in real time, that becomes our moat. So we have 12 customers at about $120,000 in ARR, along with 24 signed pilots, including ADT and Chick-fil-A. And our AI model has trained on over 4 million messages. And since we integrate to get deeper data, we plan to grow to performance reviews, recruiting, compliance, and security. We're raising $2 million for 12 months of financing to hit 1.5 million in ARR, and so far we have $600,000 committed. Join us on this journey to transform people management forever. Thank you.
Excellent. Well done. All right. So Craig, you want to kick us off this time in reverse order?
Yeah, that sounds great. I think the thing that I am curious about is, do these companies actually spend $500,000 to $1 million on surveys? Like that just really, it just
That was my first question too. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like really believable to me. And then the other thing is that I still don't really understand the problem. So like you mentioned that there's these two problems that everybody has, and then that everybody hates surveys. Who hates surveys, and why do you say they're so expensive? Curious to what Tatiana and Raza think about that, or anything else.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. My first question that I have here was, what kind of survey in today's world costs $500,000 to $1 million? Nowadays, a lot of that stuff is automated, and also capturing sentiment from all the publicly available sources. I think that's like a big time Big Brother type strategy, right? I mean, I would be very careful if I'm using any teams in a company that I know is even in an anonymous way looking at the data. So the whole kind of Big Brother aspect, kind of jumps out at me.
I'll jump in quickly. So I have exactly the same. I'm not sure what the problem is, and I'm not sure why surveys. But I'm thinking of a couple of friends who are CHROs who look at employee data in terms of financials, in terms of retentions, in terms of hiring. And I think with the right focus, it could be incredibly neat. What I'd like to know is how you're going to jump from 120,000 ARR to 1.5 ARR, 1.5 million ARR. What's the strategy behind that? And how are you going to use this data maybe on a project basis?
All right.
Awesome.
Arshan.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So I'll try to go in order. So number one was about the 500,000 to a million on surveys. So we're talking about employee engagement surveys. We used to work at Workday. The average customer would spend $1.5 million on our employee talent management tool, right? And we usually charge anywhere from $10 to $20 per user per month. And so there's not only engagement survey, like writing the questions, we'd also come in as consultants. They pay them to write questions because writing the questions is always tough. HR always has a tough time to doing that. And then if you look at like the hourly rate of people even taking surveys, it usually takes 30 minutes to an hour once a year, twice a year. You multiply that by the person's average salary. It goes way beyond that. Most companies also hire Deloitte or McKinsey to help write the questions and analyze the data. That also costs $500,000 by itself. So that was actually a conservative number, number one. Number two, in terms of, is this really a problem? So employee engagement is one of the biggest problems, especially in today's world with quiet quitting. People don't know how people feel, right? And we're talking specifically about employee surveys. We're not talking about like SurveyMonkey surveys for, customer service. And so this is a huge problem. There's an ivory tower problem with employers and employees. Employees going blind for 30 seconds. You'll see how people really feel, or on Glassdoor, and then go to work, and then you'll see how people are not really telling you the truth on surveys, right? There's no psychological safety there. So the problem is really big, which leads to productivity and loss of engagement, well-being, burnout, that type of thing. In terms of, like Raza, I'm so glad you brought that up, the idea of like Big Brother. There's an unfortunate kind of dark truth in the world of corporate, which is that 60% of Fortune 500 companies are monitoring you every second with employee monitoring tools. They're using mouse movements, keystrokes. They're taking screenshots of your screen every second. They did it to me at Workday and Autodesk and other companies. And so, yeah, just wanted to share that. And I think there's one more question, but I ran out of time.
Great. Thank you, Arshan. Well done. All right. Next up, we've got Lou from Pintors.